سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر سمع الله لمن حمده Step 1. Bismillah.
Let's see now. Okay, I'm rubbing my hands. For now, to volunteer on a TikTok, you don't gotta go over there and volunteer. Aren't even in English, so I can't even react to this shit, bro. And chick, I think it's like Mia Khalifa, some shit.
Step 1. Be a male, since it seems God does not explain.
The new Batman movie coming out.
What does that have to do with anything?
Oh, it's a timeless story about good.
So in this video, I'll be talking about how to manage being a student and doing OnlyFans. As you probably might not know, I am a mechanical engineering student at an Ivy League university. Obviously, I'm not. YouTube video. And in this video, I'll be talking about how I make $18,000 a month and I'm only 18 years old. So if there's anything that I have learned over the past couple of months is that no matter what you do, people will always criticize you and they'll always find something to criticize you about. So I've just learned not to listen to these people and just do whatever it takes for me to be satisfied with myself and end up paying my bills and whatever else I need to do. There's always one rule that I keep in mind is that I can do whatever I need to make my ends meet.
What? How? I don't know if there's an ISIS
Sets in a murky water, or that the earth is flat, or that salty and extremely religious. My partner is Arab, and we are both highly educated in physics, engineering, and Islamic studies. Until last year, we were both religious until we found out that the Quran has not only scientific but also moral mistakes. For example, the sun sets in a murky water, or that the earth is flat, or that salty and
Okay, all right. Hitting this with a bunch of fucking research and stuff like that. I ain't got no time for all this stuff.
We sincerely invite you to actually study your religion.
There's a consensus amongst Muslim scholars that Muhammad had 9 official wives simultaneously at the time before he died. Most people think that the Quran allows only 4 wives, but actually there's no limit. One of his wives at the time was Zainab, who was actually his daughter-in-law. In addition to these 9 wives, Muhammad also had 3 concubines, or slaves, which he was allowed to have sexual relations with, according to the Quran, in Surat Al-Mu'minun. One of the slaves he used to have sexual relations with was Maria al-Qibtiyya. She was given to him by Egypt's Christian governor because he was scared of Muhammad's invasion after he invited the governor to Islam. I absolutely love the freedom that Islam gave to men, but I wish we as women were also given the same freedom in having multiple husbands, or at least having a concubine.
Nah, bro, you're stupid. Like, I hate to say it, bro. And
You notice that there are no female prophets according to our religion. We only have male prophets. It makes you wonder, is God sexist or something? Let me know what you think in the comments. Salam. Step 1. Be a male, since it seems God does not accept female applications. Step 2. Don't fully contradict the established religion, but instead tell people you came to improve their previous religions because you have received some new updates from God. Step 3. Pretend to receive revelations from God by an angel, or you can pretend to be God himself. Step 4. Since rich people don't need you, promise poor people they'll be rewarded in the afterlife. And step 5. Win major battles and set laws that prohibit criticism of the religion. Remember, history is written by the victorious, so don't worry, any perverted actions or war crimes you have committed will be justified since people don't dare to question the validity of your actions. They'll inherit the religion from their family and even defend you in the comments section of this video. Unfortunately, in certain...
Hold up, bro. Hold up. Listen.
Time to get up, sweetie.
Men have been sold the belief of if you love a woman,
allow yourself to not get what you want.
Things too. So when you hear a woman and don't even realize
beings, I believe, and only a woman who's...
she should be treated like a princess.
I deserve to be treated like a princess, and I'm not accepting anything lower. Period.
And you just met her? That's a red flag right there. That's usually the woman that's going to expect you to constantly do for her just because she was born female. So you have to be real careful of how much you do for some of these women out there, because you may be putting an evil woman on a pedestal and don't even realize it until it's too late.
I remember what the Bible said about women and you know, like evil spirit, what the Bible says about the Jezebel spirit and things I see that women do, things I know and heard that women do. The paternity issue, how these women lay next to a man for years, looking a kid in the eyes for years, knowing there's no relation.
18 years, and on the 18th birthday found out it wasn't his.
How good men get stomped out, how kids are just used for a check. I've come to the conclusion that I really think women are just pure beings, I believe, and only a woman who's honest about our natural nature of being deceptive can change it. Like, for example, I know that naturally there's a selfish, gimme, I want that type of way about me. So if you can't be honest and say that that's in there, then you can't deal with it and address it. I've noticed that the women who say they're the dopest, they're the this, they're the that, are usually the worst, because you have to acknowledge the beast in you in order to tame it.
You could not handle a queen. I stand for strength, power. When you see a man with a black woman, know he has big energy. All right? He can handle this mouth and this ass. You're weak. You're a buster.
And not even just how they deal with men and kids makes them evil, but how they deal with each other. Women are so jealous, deceptive, conniving. Like, you can just feel the evil when you are in the presence of certain women. You can walk in a room and you just feel the daggers. You just feel that onyx spirit. Women are evil. I don't care what nobody say. Women are untrustworthy, deceitful, onyx beings. I said what I said.
Now let me say this.
Now, there's a lot to unpack. You know, Muslim women have came to this channel and have attacked me. And the thing is I say to myself, well, why are you attacking me if it doesn't relate to you? But you know what they say. Hit dogs holler. I'm not trying to refer a woman to a dog, but you know what I mean. So, what I'm getting at is this. I'm showing you proof, okay, that Muslim women in the West should not be looked at as a marriage option. Okay, I just got off the phone with my friend, my comrade, and he said that these marriages with non-Muslim men are popping up more and more each day. Okay, um, and you have to act. And then this woman who was honestly spitting blasphemy in the beginning, it's in a man's innate nature to conquer. It's in a man's innate nature to do that, to establish empires, to build things. That's in a man's innate nature, okay? Also, a man's libido is usually going to be higher than a woman's anyway, okay? I mean, it's another video for itself, but that's the reason why certain people look the way they do right now. Back in the day, the Arabs were a more darker people. But because they did conquer so much, that it changed the, I guess you can say, the phenotypical makeup of them. Because they were conquering everywhere. Same thing with Genghis Khan. It's the same thing with Timur. They were conquerors. And when you're living in these times, it was either conquered or be conquered. Sometimes their hands were forced and they had to make the first move. She kind of like alludes to the fact that like these guys were just on like a reign of terror for the heck of it, not realizing that they were surrounded by different empires. But this is how far gone the Muslim woman in the West is. And the thing is, when I look on TikTok and look at who was responding to these videos, okay? Who was responding to the videos, right? The thing is about it, right? Here's the thing. It wasn't women that were trying to talk against it. It was only men who were trying to talk against it and talk against what she was doing. No Muslim women. No Muslim women came out. Okay? Um no, that's the thing. That's how you know they're so far gone. No Muslim women came out against this craziness that she did. Okay? It was only it was only it was only like the men who came out against this craziness. Okay? That's the whole problem. You know? So when you're seeing these things with these Muslim women, you're seeing things like this. You're seeing things like this. Hold on, let me find it. Find it real quick. Give me a second. You're seeing things like this. You're seeing things like this. When you see things like this, okay, and when you see, and I kid you not, I wish I was making this up, but I'm not making this up, okay? I have heard a Muslim woman say on TikTok, okay? I've heard this on TikTok. I've heard these exact words what I'm about to say. But the conversation of OnlyFans came up. And once the conversation came up about it, right? And I said how it would affect kids in school, because like some people, like unfortunately, some kids are going to have to deal with the stigma of their mothers being OnlyFans. Let's be honest, nobody's really checking for men's OnlyFans pages. Let's just be real. No, like nobody's really checking for no men's OnlyFans page. Let's just be honest with ourselves. But the woman on TikTok, and she's a Somali Muslim, okay, actually she said this. The kid will have nothing to be ashamed of because his mother will be sexually liberated. I'm like, okay, I'm leaving the room now. I gotta go. I said, I gotta go. I really have to leave. Yeah. I have to get out of here. You know what I mean? So when you see things like this, okay, when you see these kind of behaviors, right, with Muslim women in the West, what what chance do you have? What chance do you have in this affair? You know? So you're looking at these Muslim women, you're seeing what these Muslim women are doing in the West, okay? So the question must be asked then, what will you benefit from even trying to pursue them? What will you benefit from even going to their guardian in when it comes to Islam? Okay? That's the thing. So what I'm getting at now, let's move on to the second video. We know, I'm going to straight out and say it, that women have the potential to reach high spiritual stations. Women have that potential, you know. The problem is what that woman said is that they're so driven into their own desires that they're blinded by everything else. They're blinded. They're blinded by their desires, that things like logic, things like accountability, things like preservation, things like hygiene, just the basic, just the very key things that come with like being a balanced human being and maybe potentially being a God realized human being. They throw it out the window, man. And I hate to say it, but they embrace like kind of like a, you know what I mean? Like I really don't want to go there, man. But you know, when she says that these women are inherently evil, she's really not far off. You know, I hate to say it, but she's really not far off. She is very like she is very, very like You know what I mean? Like she's pretty much right on the money. You know what I mean? And so the thing is that, you know, I hate to say this too, and don't 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 get mad or anything like that. And also don't think I'm like throwing in a white towel. Like there's no white towel throwing in with me. You know what I mean? But the abuse of traditional Muslim men is so normalized here. The abuse of a man who just wants to be on a natural disposition. The abuse of a man who may, yes, desire more than one wife and may have the means to take care of more than one wife is normalized here. A guy wants to do it the right way. That's the thing. He wants to do it the right way. He wants to have multiple wives, right? He wants to have multiple wives, right? And so, for some reason, people have an issue with that. People have an issue with that. Although he wants to do it the right way. So, the thing is this. At this point, she even said, okay, she even said herself that she even said herself basically that women are inherently evil. Now, I'm pretty sure she got a lot of backlash for it. But the fact of the matter is this. You're going to have to leave to find your wife. Okay? They bought into the system. I know it's a generalization, but you know, at this point in time, it's safe to say that this generalization is pretty accurate. You know, because the average Abdul, or the average, or even the average like Umar, or the average Hassan, he would take a woman who was on her deen and maybe looked average looking versus a woman who is like above average looking and acts like the one we just saw on the video. You know, he would take option number 1, not option number 2. But all I'm going to say is this. This is the reason why SYSMB was formed. This is why the reason why I had to do this hashtag SYSMB. And now I have to push it further. Because people thought I was making this up. These Muslim women thought that, like, you know, and I hate to say it, but, you know, they lack accountability just as much as non-Muslim women lack accountability. You know, I'm just going to be honest with you. Okay. But with that being said, you now know why SYSMB was started. But anyhow, Fula signing out. And Jada, man.